Hello, and welcome to It's Time to Move to Planning Optimization. My name is Joe Tews. I'm a principal consultant here at Stoneridge Software. Some of my specialties include master planning, discrete manufacturing, lean manufacturing, as well as inventory. I'm a member of the client experience team. And I also have a few certifications specifically around supply chain management, the functional consultant associate, as well as finance and operations app solution architect expert. In today's session, we're going to talk about why you need to move to or consider moving to planning optimization, how you go about moving to planning optimization. We'll talk about some of the key differences between the deprecated MRP and planning optimization. And finally, at the end, we'll have some time for questions and answers. So without further ado, let's talk about planning optimization. So you may be asking yourself, why do I need to move to planning optimization? MRP works just fine for me. I don't want to rock the boat or disrupt my current planning process. And the first and foremost reason why you need to consider moving to planning optimization is that Microsoft has actually deprecated the built-in master planning engine in favor of planning optimization. A deprecated feature is a feature that's no longer in active development and could potentially be removed in a future release. Now, I don't want to alarm anyone. Right now, there is currently no timeline for full removal of the deprecated built-in planning engine. If Microsoft does make plans to do so in the future, they will announce those plans at least 12 to 18 months before the removal date so that any remaining customers can migrate. However, in March of 2023, Microsoft did adopt a very strict policy against providing support for the deprecated master planning engine, except in cases of blocking issues or regressions. So besides the supportability aspect of it, there are some additional benefits to the planning optimization engine. And the first and foremost is going to be improved performance. The planning optimization functionality really is allowing us to pull those master planning calculations outside of the supply chain management system. By offloading the planning calculations, it significantly improves performance during your master planning runs. It improves performance so much that planners can even execute quick master planning runs during office hours, enabling them to promptly respond to changes in demand or any parameter adjustments. And this is not just your net change MRP plan that you're used to in the deprecated planning engine. This is a full master planning run that you could run in the middle of the day. That's unheard of. Another benefit is that there is now a minimal impact to your SQL database. The traditional master planning process puts a huge strain on our underlying SQL database. In order to run the calculations, it actually has to utilize the resources, so our AOS resources as well as our SQL resources for the supply chain management system. With planning optimization, we actually take those calculations outside of the supply chain management system, so your impact on the database is minimized. And this allows us or ensures us that other processes are not going to be adversely affected during master planning runs. The reason you run a full MRP at night is because you can't afford to have master planning affecting your day-to-day processes. Well, by removing master planning from your supply chain management system, this allows us to have that benefit and run it during the day. Planning optimization also allows for faster calculations of large volumes of data. Planning optimization is specifically designed for scenarios that involve long-running master plans as well as large data volumes. This performs very fast calculations by leveraging a hyperscalable multi-tenant service where multiple instances can work together simultaneously to calculate the plan, thus reducing our overall runtime. I've personally seen a large distribution customer cut their time from 13 or 14 hours of running master planning to under 10 minutes. It's phenomenal, the performance increases that you can gain with planning optimization. Now, because we have moved the core processing of master planning outside of the system, you have more flexible planning frequency. Unlike being limited to those daily runs, planning optimization allows for more frequent planning cycles. This enables planners to adjust their schedules based on the business needs without compromising system performance. Finally, we have scalability for future growth. As your business continues to grow, the planning system is not going to be overloaded. Planning optimization ensures that future business expansion is not going to strain the system. And finally, again, another benefit that we've talked about is planning optimization is supported. So how do I go about moving forward with planning optimization? Well, the first step in the process is to complete the fit analysis. The fit analysis is going to ensure that your system and your current setup is ready to use the planning optimization service. You can access this by going to the master planning module under the setup heading and go to the planning optimization fit analysis. This will calculate all of the different aspects of your system and give you a report and let you know what is currently supported in planning optimization and what you might have issues with. There are some key areas that are not fully covered by planning optimization. So Kanbans, support for Kanbans is coming sometime in 2024. BOM and formula lines with step consumption, this is going to be announced in the future release wave. And finally, sales reservation using explosion. This scenario is not yet supported. Sales line reservations aren't automatically made during the explosion process. Once I've run the fit analysis, I'm probably going to want to do a little more testing. And realistically, you want to do kind of an A/B test between the legacy deprecated MRP engine and the new planning optimization engine. So a few quick steps to get you to that process. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create 2 testing plans. You want to make sure that you use the same settings for both plans. And then once you have those plans created, before you enable the planning optimization engine, you're going to want to run the deprecated plan. So before you enable planning optimization, go in, run the plan that you have created for the deprecated master planning engine. After you've run that plan and you have the data that was created for that, you can then turn on and enable planning optimization. And once you have that enabled, you can run the planning optimization plan. Now that you have both plans run, you can compare the plans. So export your planned orders to Excel, and then sum the planned order quantities over several different periods and compare the quantities for each plan. There might be some slight differences at the beginning and end of each plan or each period, but overall, you should have very similar results. And finally, if all of your tests are successful, you're now ready to enable planning optimization in your production system. A few things to note when it comes to the deprecated planning engine and planning optimization. There are a few key differences between the two of them. So first and foremost, the plan copy, delete plan, and plan version cleanup jobs that you might currently run with the deprecated planning engine are all disabled once you move to planning optimization. Because in planning optimization, the plan version cleanup is automatic, so you don't need to do it manually anymore. There might be some changes to the quantities and the dates because of the way that planning optimization handles safety stock fulfillment. So safety stock in planning optimization is always going to use today's date plus procurement time option for the fulfill minimum field on the item coverage page. The reason this change has occurred is this helps to prevent unwanted planned orders and other issues, because if the procurement time isn't included for safety stock, planned orders that are created for low on-hand inventory would always be delayed because of that lead time. And finally, our net requirements and manually created planned orders. Manually created planned orders are not going to appear in the net requirements of an item until planning optimization is run. Or until you go to the update button, master planning on the action page in the net requirements page, which will then run master planning for that particular item. With that, I do have a couple of links here that talks about some of the differences between deprecated MRP and planning optimization. I only included a few in there, some of the big ones. There are a few other smaller changes that are going to be out there. And then finally, some documentation on the migration path to planning optimization. Now, if you're unsure or would like some help in moving to planning optimization, please contact us, and we would be very happy to discuss assisting you with the migration to planning optimization.